Hello YouTube, it's me John Avenger once again and welcome to another video, and this is a different video. This is a review of a non-horror related film because I just got back from the theater and I saw for free, I had a free ticket for Jack Reacher to Never Go Back. Yeah, this says Jack Reach. And what did I think of the film? Awesome freaking sequel, I must say. This was probably one of the best sequels I've seen this year after Civil War because, a lot of sequels this year have been a lot of letdowns and flops and unnecessary sequels. But this year we got Jack Reacher 2. This should have been a summer movie. I was very impressed with the visuals of the film. Film looks great. Screw the critics that gave it a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes are idiots. They don't know a good movie if it bit them in the face. The action is plentiful more than in the first film because the first film felt a little bit too long, and you know my problems with the first film. I hated Rosamund Pike, and the film needed more action. This fixed both of those problems for me. There is no Rosamund Pike. She's never mentioned again from the first film, and you got Kobe Smulders, who is a much better actress to me than freaking Rosamund Pike, the fish. But anyway, she's kick ass. She stands on her own right next to Tom Cruise. She doesn't play his love interest. They're more like like partners in crime, if you will. And they both kick ass. She has her moments to shine, and he has his moments to shine. And Tom Cruise is still a boss in this franchise. I enjoyed the first one mostly because of him and his wit, and here he still has that. And some people might say he's emotionless, but that's kind of how the character is. He doesn't have to show a lot of emotion on his face to be badass, and he is. And I didn't mind the teenage girl that's in the movie that played Samantha. I thought she looks a lot like Anna Paquin. I thought it was like a younger version, like Anna Paquin had a sister, but it's not Anna Paquin's sister. And this movie had one thing the Suicide Squad didn't have. It had an intimidating villain. Suicide Squad could have had the Joker as a villain, and they screwed the pooch. They had a freaking Enchantress doing this. And yet, in this movie, we have a guy named the Hunter. He's a badass. He actually is a villain that I take seriously. He's not a joke. He beats people up with whatever. He's like beats them to death, which I think is, I don't know, intimidating. He's not a joke like Lex Luthor Jr. was in BVS. He's not a joke like Zemo was in Civil War. He's not a joke like the Enchantress was in Suicide Squad. He's not a joke. He's just not. He actually gets things done. And it's a breath of fresh air after such a horrible year for shitty villains in comic book movies and in television and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, my God, this has been a bad year for villains. And yet he's actually serviceable. He works towards the film, and it's a good sequel. It's not like it's got a lot of shaky cam. There's barely any CGI in the movie. I didn't see any CGI at all. Like, I didn't notice any of that. It's real sets, real action sequences, real practical blood splattered on the wall, which is freaking awesome. The film doesn't hold back. They cuss more than in the first film. It's a PG-13. It's a hard PG-13 like Civil War was, and it goes for it. It just grabs you by the neck. Cruise is just beating the hell out of everybody in the movie. That is badass. Screw the critics. They don't know what they're talking about. It's not a tired sequel. I think it's better than the first film. I enjoy the first film, but Rosamund Pike sucked. It was too long, and it needed more action. This one, they did the pacing a lot better. It's a shorter film. It's only 118 minutes. I know it sounds long, but the story is very engaging. I got invested in the characters. That's more than I could say from some other movies last year. Wink, wink, Jurassic World. The movie was, it went by quick. I mean, Tom Cruise and Kobe Smulders have to find this information because they're set up in the beginning of the film, and, it keeps going from there. Excuse me. Anyway, that's like the first time I sneezed in a long time in a video. But anyway, Jack Reacher 2, if you haven't seen it in the theater and you like the first one, I would recommend it. It's a great sequel. I'm not going to spoil anything, especially the ending. I want to give this is not this is spoiler free for the most part. I might do another video eventually, or just talk about the spoilers when I see the first one again and review the first one. But it's a solid sequel. If you enjoyed the first one, I would recommend seeing the second one in the theater, or if you can't wait, then just wait till it's on Blu-ray. It's worth a watch. It's got some action in it. It's not like wall-to-wall action, but when the action's there, it's plentiful and it's good, and it's more fast-paced than the first movie. And there's no Jai Courtney, no Rosamund Pike to get in the way, who's a dumbass and does nothing. Kobe Smulders is a tough chick, and I buy her more than Emily Blunt, more than Daisy Ridley, more than freaking Margot Robbie or any of these other freaking foreign chicks. She's a tough, badass Canadian chick with gorgeous hair and a beautiful face, and is just awesome. I've always liked Kobe Smulders, and The Avengers and Winter Soldier and How I Met Your Mother. She's just a good actress that I buy. The film looks really good. I mean, Christopher McQuarrie didn't direct this. He only produced it. I think he produced it and wrote the film of the story. He did a good job. I mean, there was a new director that directed it. It looks great. Like the locations, I can see everything. It's in focus. It's not shaky cam. It's not. The editing is far superior to Suicide Squad. You can see what's going on. It's not tame, and it's coherent. It's not like there's only a few flashbacks, but they're very short. There are a few seconds. It's not like BVS in the theatrical cut where there's like way too many flashbacks, and there are too many flashbacks in Suicide Squad. Here, it's a few when Tom Cruise and Kobe Smulders remember their past, but I'm not going to say what happens. But it's a good film. It's a good sequel. I'm going to put this in my top 10 of the year. I enjoyed it for what it was. I got the action I deserved. It was not a half a movie like Suicide Squad was. It was very entertaining. I sat there the whole time. I laughed at some of the jokes. There was some humor to lighten the mood, so it's not a dark and depressing movie like Fan Four Stick. And it's a fun movie. You want a fun sequel? This is it. They don't go back and kill characters that we liked in the first film. They don't go back and make a reboot, requel thing that has no connection to the first film. In a way, it's a standalone, but there are references. There's some dialogue taken from the first film. So it is a direct sequel. It's not a reboot. And I would take this any day over Taken 2 or The Expendables 3 or freaking Speed 2. It's a good sequel over the garbage that I've seen. And some of the movies that came out this year, it is way better. I would take this over Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows or freaking Gods of Egypt or The Fifth Wave. It didn't bore me to tears. I was entertained from the beginning to the end. It's not a movie for everybody. Some people might find it too slow at parts, and they might find the girl annoying, but I thought it was badass. This is what sequels should be. Fun. If you're not going to give me Oscar-worthy, give me something fun. And I had fun with Jack Reacher 2. And I saw the trailer for John Wick 2. I hope that's as badass as the first one as well. And it's not watered down. It's definitely acquired taste, but it's my kind of taste. It's entertaining. That was my only agenda going in, and I got some witty dialogue because it's a really well-written script. It's a fun-paced action film with crime thriller as well thrown into there. There's some dramatic moments that work, especially at the end. I'm not going to spoil it. It has some heart to it, That's what sequels are missing nowadays. A lot of them are just made to make money, and there's no heart to it. Like Medea Goes Boom, Halloween, whatever the fuck that is. I don't care about that. This is better. Don't waste your time with that. Or Ouija 2. This is a good sequel. This should have been in the summer instead of Suicide Squad or Independence Day Regurgitated or Fembusters. It's high quality. It's not perfect. The only major problem I had with the film is that it has way too many characters. You only needed Tom Cruise, Kobe Smulders, and the girl and the villain. That's it. The black guy, Espen, is okay, but like the commander and all that, there's way too many soldiers that are nonsensical. They're just thrown in the film to get killed off, and they don't do much, so they're kind of like, they're not important to the plot. But other than that, great sequel, especially 4 years later. Usually that would kill a sequel, but I enjoyed it. I didn't pay for it. I saw it for free in the theater. There's my ticket stub to prove it. I saw the 6:20 show. It was a pretty decent crowd. I laughed. I enjoyed myself. I clapped at the end. And if there's a third one, I'll be happy. If not, at least I got 2 awesome Jack Reacher films. And Cruise sold it for me. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm glad you got to see a non-horror related review because I know you're interested in other stuff besides horror this month. But I wanted to review this movie because it was badass. It's a sequel I did not see coming. I saw the trailers. I was interested. And guess what? Jason Bourne, this movie did not lie in the trailer. Suicide Squad, this film did not lie in the trailer. This is how you make advertisement right. Yes, it didn't perform as well as the first one, and because of the accounting, it didn't make as much. But no matter what it makes, I'm glad I saw it. And screw the haters, because it's a good sequel. So the case closed. Anyway, thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and I will see you in the next review. I'm tired. I need a rest. So later, guys.